Well, welcome. Let's see if we can actually get to stay on the air this time.
Well, last night my internet got turned off fully. Don't know who that was. It is Mike's birthday today, so if you're about Mike and the spirit of the realm, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Mike. We
You
miss you,
know,
brother.
I would do miss you. Stephanie, welcome. Who's that strange person in there called Dakota? I don't know who that is. Could that be? Simply Alan, hello. You know, I've been looking forward to this subject tonight about the elites building the bunkers because I watched that film. Hey, Scottish Outlooker, I watched that film. Was it on Netflix? Is it When the World Ends? What's it
No,
called again?
leave the world behind.
Leave the World Behind. I leave the world behind. Right, sorry about that. I'm terrible with names. He kens. But I watched that tonight, and I'll tell you something new. See the symbolism in that. Oh my god! And I found actually stuff out about that will shock you to the core. Now, bear in mind, it was Obama that wrote that.
Yeah,
So,
the Obamas run their own production company. They're actually going to be doing a movie on Betty and Barney Hill.
but here's an interesting one. Remember on Netflix there was the train disaster movie that they did,
Aye,
and
yeah,
then it
Adam
happened,
Driver. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the exact same place is where the place was staged. It happened, right?
Aye, aye.
Leave that world behind. I'll tell you something new. There's a lot of stuff that you guys do not. Hey, Lawrence, but there's a lot of stuff that you guys do not know in that. See the symbolism. Have you seen it yet?
No,
Right. There's a bit in it. There's a bit in it where the moon. It's the moon. The camera's on the moon, right? And you can see the Earth, and the sun disappears behind the Earth, and it causes. You know how you get a lunar eclipse. You know how you get solar eclipse, and it causes. Is it the diamond ring? It's called. You know what it's called. Well, it does that, right? And you think to yourself, why do they show that? Because at the start they show you space and all the satellites and stuff. When September this year, right, just after supposed bunkers are finished, there is a total solar eclipse. And
yes.
it makes you wonder, you know how they like to do these things, the Illuminati or whoever they are. What happens if this is them just telling you out loud that that's what they're going to do? There's going to be because they've been putting the warnings out for a while, saying, "Oh, the internet's got to go down. There's got to be 7 days of darkness. There's got to be 7 days of darkness." Or what happens if it's 7 days in the internet, no
Okay,
electricity?
this actually goes to start into area that I know of. The Illuminati's
Mhm.
origins.
Yeah.
You do know how they managed to gain influence, right?
No, I don't actually.
The Bavarian Illuminati, a very intelligent group of people, realized that there was a solar eclipse on the way.
Yes.
And not everybody followed that science. So when it started going dark, they said, start telling everybody. Now, this is a simplification on my part. Follow us, let us be your leaders, and we will bring the sun back.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody's panicking. They want the sun to come back. They think it's the end of the world. They fall in line. Sun comes back. Woo! Magic,
Yeah.
mystical society.
But obviously, this is it's interesting how that movie came out, because obviously I'm waiting for obviously part two, because there is a part two in production. What I've been told, and in that it shows you what happens. It's like the guy in it, the heat guy, the main guy in it. He says this is a coup d'etat. This is an inside job, basically, right? You look at America right now, right? Now I'm just going to run something past you here. It's not just America; it's the UK too. Now, if you were going to take out America, would you also take out its allies?
You
Because let's
take out
face it,
communications.
if America became under attack, Britain would obviously rally to your aid. right? Because you helped us in the war, right? That's how it works, right? For your pals, right? So you would have to deal with us at the exact same time, and you would have to deal with France because they're allies too, they're part of NATO. You'd have to deal with all the kind of NATO countries all at once, right? How would you do it? How would you do it without using nuclear weapons? How could you cause as much pandemonium? And I think what's happening in America, it's the same as is happening here. Now, this is dodgy. This is really dodgy stuff we're getting into. Prepare yourselves, because look at your border now in Mexico. It's not just Mexicans that are coming out of the border, isn't it? It's Chinese and other people, right? So where are all these Chinese people coming from? That's coming from Mexico. That's what I don't get. Where are they? That's what I don't get. How come there's so many Chinese people coming over the Mexican border?
Easier port access.
Exactly. See, this is what I'm saying. China could be sending ships, cargo ships, to Mexico, full of basic troops. And if you look at all these people that are coming over the border, hardly any of them have got kids, women, and children with them. There are some, but a lot of them are young guys, young fighting age guys. You look what's happening in the UK now. It's mostly young fighting age guys, and the government that's in the UK are as if they want them here, because as soon as they come here, they're throwing people out of army bases that have always lived there, soldiers and stuff, and giving them their houses. And I'm surprised this doesn't get taken down. And they're filling all this up. Think about it. Because obviously, if you were going to pull something like this off in America, you would want it to happen in the NATO countries too that would come to the aid of America. So at the exact same time, did you hear that? That was weird. That the electrical kind of, like an electrical kind of like. Bzz. It was weird.
Are you sure your headphones aren't frying?
No, they're new. They're new pair. I got a new pair the other day. They look exactly the same, but they're new. But put me off the stot here. But think about it. It's like a Trojan horse. It's like cause trouble within the country. Think about it. Because if the internet goes down, right, let's just say it happens to America, right? The internet goes down. Everything's internet nowadays. No Facebook, no Snapchat, nothing, right? They could be like a Trojan horse. They could all start rising up and causing nothing but problems. I heard that I'm getting a lot of electrical interference when Chris talks. That's interesting, isn't it? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
See? It says, I think they're listening to us now. I don't care. Come and arrest me if you want. But anyway, they're doing the same in the UK. They're doing the... They're doing the same in the UK. Think about it. The UK is getting flooded right now with immigrants, right? And our Egypt Prime Minister's just like, oh, what the man. Do you know most of these people that are coming in, they've all got phones with them. They've all got phones. Or Samsung phones or iPhones, right? Most of them are iPhones, right? Where are they getting the money to pay for this? This is no me talking, by the way, because it's happening in Ireland. It's happening big time in Ireland because they're having a lot of problems with them over there. Right? It's as if every NATO ally is getting flooded with these people right now. And it's like, if something goes down, if the internet goes down, how long does it cause? The British military will not be able to handle it. The British military will not be able to handle it. The French military will go under. The German military.
You do realize the science behind that, right?
What's that then?
There's an actual legit thing behind it.
Aye, there's a 3-step scenario to take out a country.
No. is what it is. And there's actual papers to validate this.
Yeah, Emerald.
Let's take it away from conspiracy a little bit more
Yeah,
everyday scenario, right? Diversity in the workplace, right? Obviously, employers shouldn't, be discriminating against skin color. Naturally,
exactly.
they shouldn't. But you know why they promote that diversity in the workplace?
Why?
They have found that people are less likely to unionize in a diverse workspace.
Really? I didn't know that.
The less likely they're able to come together, the less likely they'll be able to put up a fight against the managers that start their shit.
Exactly.
Same science.
I mean, if you go back to the kind of like scenario, like a coup d'etat, right? What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to take no out your enemy, right? Say, for instance, China and Russia and whoever else they are have all teamed up to take out the Western allies, right? America, right, and us at the same time. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take out their communications, aren't you? Because that is the first thing you're going to do. You're going to take out the satellites. You can, and people think, oh, you can't shoot them down. Look, you could take out the satellites sitting in a wee shed somewhere with a laptop if you're a good enough hacker. Okay, you can do that kind of thing if it's right. If depending on how good the hackers you've got, you can do that, right? So you knock out the enemy, you knock out America and Britain's and NATO's communications, right? Then you start an uprising everywhere in the NATO's countries, right? Cause mass panic. There's no TV, there's no radio, nothing works because everything's digital now, everything's internet. You don't know what's happening. People turn on people. See, if you need water or you need food, you're got to turn on your neighbour. And you're sitting thinking, I would never do that to my neighbour. Really? Let's face it would happen. You would mass panic, and then that's when the enemy would strike. Because you think about it would cause civil wars. Place would fall apart. Mass chaos. It would basically do the job for you. Because that's what America does anyway, and Britain, obviously, and its allies to little countries. They just go in and do that to little countries, basically themselves. And everybody thinks that America and Britain's untouchable. No, it's not. No, it's not. Something's going to happen. What's that, Emerald Dials? We are talking about no nationals, no paperwork act, no rules, no law. What's that? A cargo ship arriving Oslo with 14 minutes. Oh, wait, no, I just need to shout. Somebody shout on.
So Lawrence goes right. A cargo ship arrived in Rosler with 14. I think that's supposed to say immigrants inside a cooler container. Somebody inside the container called the British Coast Guard, which suggests they thought they were heading for the UK.
Just saw on the news today 6 foreigners have been. Oh, wait, the news.
You take out the stock exchanges, you would take out quite a bit. But if you really wanted to cause mass panic, you would want to bottleneck the people you were trying to eliminate.
Mass chaos. Look, we know the elite like to tell. We know that the elite like to tell us before the day what the day. You think about this now. Why is the guy that owns Facebook building the bunkers? And it's not just him. Come on, the guy Bill Gates, he's got a big bunker complex, and everybody thinks, there's just a couple of billionaires doing that. No, there's about what 30 billionaires right now, and they're all building doomsday bunkers.
All of these doomsday bunkers are starting to crop up right as the Epstein information starts to get rolling out.
See,
Convenient timing.
Right. I'll admit that is convenient timing, right?
That's
but let's look at let's look at this. Where are they building the bunkers? They're building the bunkers in Hawaii, which is that's part of America, isn't it? I don't know my geography that way.
Here's another thing
Oh,
though. Speaking of Lahaina, because Chris is obviously very riled up tonight. Another thing with Lahaina is obviously we know the fire's still suspicious. There's absolutely no one being allowed into the destruction zones, not even insurance adjusters, to be able to basically appraise the amount of damage the people there lost so they can get the necessary funding to rebuild their lives, rebuild their homes. Yet they all want a nice tropical getaway when hell breaks over. You doing all right over there?
I was no, we're getting a new bathroom in the morning. My dad went for a shower and he couldn't find the shampoo because I went and taken it all out. Oh, come on.
Just making sure everybody's okay.
No, everything's fine. It's funny as anything, but I'm just laughing at it. But look, that's right. That's an American state, right? You think about it. If you flee to a bunker, you can still get it out of there. Can I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can I mean? I just don't know. Do you hear that? I'm getting off of like interference, so you're not getting that.
No, I mean someone on your end.
It's like a digital. It's like a weird digital interference. You don't hear that. It's like it sounds like a mobile phone. Kind of when a mobile phone gets too close to the internet, it's going beep 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 beep, and it's really quick.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I'm not hearing it.
Look at your signal dropping.
My signal's holding. You're the one that
your signal for me.
Your
signal for me. Your signal for me is absolutely.
Your signal
terrible.
for me is.
That's weird, guys.
For me has been acting up.
Last night, my internet just went off, and it was as if somebody had like flicked the switch.
Yeah,
that's weird. That's weird.
Scottish Outlook post. There's a 700-mile stretch, 1,000 meters under the North Sea, being used for mining fertilizer chemicals. Most probably a bunker. It was absolutely huge. Trucks driving around in it. Yeah.
See, look, it wouldn't take much to take out the internet. But let's face it, if you're going to take out a country like say China or something like that, right? And you're going to take America, right? You want to do as little damage as possible to take that out. Well, we know the Chinese like to build stuff, right? But look, you're going to want to take that country. You want to take it from an inside job, basically. And I know what I'm about to say. The new could probably land me in a lot of trouble if it was American, but I don't care. Your president has been known to be selling documents to the Chinese.
I know.
Old Joe Biden has been selling his country out. Look at his inauguration. Look at Joe Biden's inauguration. Everybody at that, 90% of the people at that were Chinese. That's what people don't tell you about.
It's the thing. It's not quite selling out. In a way it is. But
in a way it is.
It's also part of the debt recollection that China has over the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
We start forking over our assets when we can't pay the debt. Why do you think China's been doing so well lately?
They've been getting land. They've been getting parts of America. They've been buying up. Look at Bill Gates. He's been buying up fields after fields after fields after fields.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of acres. Why? And he says it's because it's new genetically modified vegetables and all that kind of stuff. Nah, there's something there. I think something's going to get pulled off very soon. I think somebody's going to try something. There's people saying that I'm coming through like a Cylon or something like that.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching.
I think we're being watched right now,
Of
and
course we
I
are.
don't particularly give a fuck. Okay, I mean, look, when anything goes down, it'll be us that'll be the ones that's targeted. No merely me, because let's face it, in Britain, okay, I mean, we're not exactly the armed to the teeth like you Americans. Yeah, I mean, but more like you, more kind of thing. But what's that? Sounds like your end, Chris. I'm hearing a vibration when you talk. It's weird that. Oh,
Yeah,
turn
it's
this.
because he's been trying out this new prostate thing.
Aye, I don't know
It's
if it's
causing
is it my wig?
feedback.
Is it my wig? Is it my wig here? Is my wait no, I should have lined this with tinfoil. You know, right now. I'm picking up the aliens. Just a joke, man. Simple
I
Jack.
say
That's
a
what that's what
prostate
thought.
thing, and he pulls out a wig.
There's nothing wrong with a wig. Some people lose their hair, and some people need it. Again, somebody says to me the other day there, I looked quite handsome in that. I says to
They're
them, I
blind.
says, were you blind and on drugs at the time? But look, those bunkers that are getting made, I don't think it's for that island thing. And the reason I say that is because if they go there, what's stopping the police? Let's face it, they can take the doors off. They'll take them out. Okay, I mean, it's no hard. Trump could send, if he becomes president again, could send the Marines over there and take them out. Okay, I mean, it's no hard, right?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. That will not be the first time a president has threatened military action against a facility in order only to have been shut down.
I'm going to say this, right? We ken that Joe Biden's been selling inside secrets, right? I think, I do think there's got to be an inside job in America. I really do think. I do think there's going to be some type of insurrection in America, and I think it's going to happen in the UK. It's got to happen everywhere simultaneously. See, right? I'm going to name the European country they know that's having problems with the other people. But I'm not going to name it in case the hackers come on or something like that. I mean, we have been giving them weapons, right? We've been giving them everything. We've been giving them tanks. It's as if what is it?
Nothing. I'm just
No, it's as if I'm trying to myself so we don't get like hanged. But anyway, we've been using up our weapons. We've been using up our javelins and stuff like that, right? What happens if that is just an inside job? What happens if it is just an inside job? What happens if our British Prime Minister knows? What happens if the American president knows? What happens if all the kind of world leaders that are in this know that there's going to be an inside job, and when they do this, there'll not be many weapons left to fight them back? You see where I'm going with this?
It's a war by proxy.
What's this? Bolden Bonkers. Chris has you. I will ken something. I'll know be that. I'll know be that when the Chinese come to your door and drag you away.
Oh, I gotta work on my
It's
poker
connected
face.
to my Apple Watch. It's connected to my Apple Watch. I'm going to ask Siri what he thinks of you. Look, I know, Scottish Outlooker. Britain, our glorious leader that we didn't vote for, has gave Ukraine once again £2.5 billion.
Lovely.
Did you know that there's is it 1 billion that's unaccountable for? Did you know that?
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. And that's from the American side, by the way. It's went missing. Poof. Wonder where it went. Took you long enough. I know. Well, I don't look at the chat that much. I don't look at the chat when I get into my kind of spiel. I don't look at the chat. That's why I never watch my show back. I never watch my shows back ever. I don't like the sound of my own voice. It's weird. It's a strange thing. I don't watch my shows back. There you go. Son of the naked Bigfoot sitting in the Jeep near Dad's graveside listening to you guys. Oh, did you tell your dad for us happy birthday, Pete?
Yeah. Our thoughts were with you, Pete.
Yeah. Your dad would have liked this show. Your dad was always kind of like
And he would
minded in that
especially
kind of
love
way.
to ask about your Bluetooth butt plug.
I don't know. Pete's maybe into that kind of stuff. Pete, have you got a Bluetooth butt plug?
People on the
what is
podcast
it?
side,
Mike's
you should
supposed to
really
come
come to a
forth
live
now
show.
and get me. He'll take me away.
You just love
He'll take
pissing
me
off
away to
everybody, don't you?
Well, last night I must have pissed off somebody because it kicked me off the internet and did something last night. It did something, you know.
No, all you need is just one little red laser dot. And pow!
Well, good luck to them. They'll need one of the guns that can see through walls or something like that. You know. Well, why kill me when they could just kill you, the owner of the company, and then that would be the end of it?
You're the one they can touch.
That's very true.
They'll touch you all over.
See, he's the one that gets taken away with the aliens, ladies and gentlemen. That's been, I don't know what he's been up to up there with big tentacles and stuff like that. You know.
Even your tentacles, God.
Look, if aliens have tentacles, they're allowed tentacles. Are you racist towards aliens with tentacles?
No.
I can hear voices. Is that your mum? I can hear women talking.
That's the women of the house not shutting up.
For a second there, I thought that was the wife out of space there coming down to get you.
No, nothing that fun. And I didn't mean to sound misogynistic there. Just saying.
Yeah. You're right. I don't know what you get up to up there in the spaceship. There's a spaceship there. That's one of the spaceships comes down to get him at night. Takes him away. You know.
No. It's more. Looks more like the Bean, the Chicago Bean.
What is your opinion? What is your honest opinion, Dakota, on that? Do you think there's something about to happen? Because everybody keeps going on about this internet going down with solar flares and that shit. It's not going to be a solar flare. When is the solar flare ever taken the internet down? I can, there was the Carrington event, but there was the internet in the days.
Actually, here's the thing. Solar flares that were hitting us right around New Year's, Christmas to New Year's, have actually been causing problems. Still.
Really?
So it is possible for it to happen.
What's that? Mars needs women, angry red women.
Oh, dear Lord,
Pete,
what did I just open up?
Pete, what are you thinking about?
To the woman of my life, I apologize.
What is Pete? Pete, come on the show, Pete.
I don't need angry women in my life right now. I've already just had to shovel out my driveway just so I can be able to get to work tonight.
I wouldn't bother shoveling. Just drive it. You just drive it. You Americans don't know how to drive.
The snow was packed up to above my bumpers, dude.
Be fine. He's got a long run at it. You know, he's got a back wheel drive and a rear wheel drive vehicle. You know, you can get yourself a 4-wheel drive vehicle or something like that. You know, you can get yourself like a 4-wheel drive, like a Jeep or something.
You paying for it?
Well, if everybody donates right now, we can get Dakota a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
Okay, first off, you're going to be one of those idiots. 4-wheel drive does not necessarily mean 4-wheel stop.
That's right. That's very true.
Every police district that's having to dig people out of ditches this time of year.
Yes, you get the SUVs that are 4-wheel drive, but you don't really. They aren't really 4-wheel. They are 4-wheel drive, but they're utter shit because they're just shit. They're no got low ranges like Land Rovers or Jeeps. See, Jeeps are quite good motors, and you can put them. You get like 4 different gear sticks in some of them. Again, you can put them into a lower range and stuff.
Oh yeah, well, you also got to tell that to the people who think that their cars are amphibious and try to go on water that's about 3 feet high practically because it's been flooding so damn much.
I will say this: the weather has been quite atrocious. Now I don't know if that's maybe because the media is making it out that way. I mean, you get people on TikTok now waiting for the snow in Scotland. We're sitting here in the control room waiting for the heaviest. Look, it snows in Scotland. That's what happens. I mean, there's what? A couple of flurries outside, but I can just imagine what it's got to be like the more of the place. Folks screaming and shouting at each other because there's one snowflake falling for the sky. Yeah, I mean,
I know. And ladies and gentlemen, for fuck's sake, if someone's driving slow on the road when it's this cold out, no matter how bad the situation may be, no matter if the apocalypse starts tomorrow. Okay, if the apocalypse is going tomorrow, then yeah, bitch about the slow drivers. But come on.
nah. Well,
Drive to the conditions. Be safe. The world's already getting ready to try to fuck us in the ass. At least a
look,
good biased dinner first.
I'm going to say this year is going to be diabolical. I'm going to say this year's got to be diabolical for everybody. I think change is coming. I think something, I'm not going to say biblical, is going to happen, but I do think there's going to be an event. Something's going to happen. Big time. What's that? Here we go. When it comes to four-wheel drive, you have to know how to work the shift, Chris. Work the base. Well, Pete, that's coming from a man of
up and down.
Pete. That's coming from experience, Pete. You're a man that knows your trade. Many a night you've probably sat in the hills, round about your farm in the darkness, playing with your shaft.
Oh dear God.
He's probably going to get his voodoo doll out tonight and say, right, I'm going to name this Chris. What can I do to him?
I'll give him hair.
It was your
I'll
fault,
give him
Pete.
hair and make him a bloody ginger.
Yeah, it was your fault, Pete. You brought it up. Mike's ghost will come forth for now. Start strangling me. Oh my God.
Oh, I probably shouldn't put that on the screen.
I don't think you should put that up either, but I think you should. Fuck it. What's going to happen? Let's face it, we could all be dead in a year's time anyway. You know what I mean? You'll be under
I have
control
more
of the
value.
Chinese and all. Huh?
I'm younger. I have more value.
They might keep you as like a sex slave or something like that. The Chinese when they take over.
Have you seen Chinese women?
I'm not talking about women.
Hey, you're the one that's into that. I wonder why people think you're gay.
I can see. What you call it? Oh my God! I've just had a vision in my head there. I'm damaged for life. I'm damaged for life.
You're the one putting the slapping the images into your head.
It's bloody Mike that started Mike started showing it. What's this show? What's this? Why does it ask to show Pete's comments? I don't understand that. I have to keep tapping on them. It's White Zombie song that you. I'm gonna be totally angry here, but I've never heard of White Zombie before.
I've heard of Rob Zombie, but
is this like some type of musical?
I don't know.
But we're getting off the subject.
Yeah, way off.
But it just shows you, right? I mean, it just shows you how civilization could. Oh, fuck's sake!
What?
It shows you how civilization can fall, right? When the internet, can you imagine all the women that can't get onto Facebook? Well, that's got to be like
women, all the fucking teenagers.
TikTok.
Oh dear God! I mean, I don't know. Rob Zombie's band is White Zombie. Oh, I didn't know that. Fuck.
He's getting older now. He doesn't recognize the things anymore.
You wanted to talk. Mr. King,
I know.
got a name right.
Hey, what they do? I like 60s music and stuff like that. I like Pink Floyd. I like Dark Side of the Moon. I like AC/DC. I like Creedence Clearwater. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, my grandma was really into those. She was really.
That's what happens. It's one day you'll be in my situation. One day you'll be sitting here and there'll be a younger guy, and you'll be like, of course you're my grandpa now and stuff like that. You know, I've probably be in Chinese, mind you.
Well,
You know, but it's coming to that. I mean, the internet runs everything.
it does.
I mean, people don't realise. They say they can still last without the internet, but they can't. They can't. They've made it so. I mean, you can still use cash, right? But how long's cash going to last you when the cash machine doesn't give you money?
Exactly.
whereas, right before the scenario, a loaf of bread's what $3, right? After the scenario, a week after the scenario, a loaf of bread's probably got to cost you a donkey or something like that. Kind of sort of, well, there's barter on the trade. Have you seen that? You can actually buy gold money for the survival places. Again, this is sound weird, guys, but it looks like money. It looks like American dollars. It comes out in American dollars only now, but it's gold. It's got a certain amount of gold and like $10, but it's gold. And it doesn't matter how low the dollar drops, that's still worth what's that gold is. That's actually quite a good thing, that. But then people barter for it. You can like tear a wee bit off and say, right, I'll have that. And they take that and it's worth the gold. But I will say that, see these preppers and all that, they will probably survive a lot longer than like most is. But
I told you so. I told you so.
But I'm going to say this the now. The preppers that you see on the internet that tell everybody where they stay will not last that long. Because everybody will know where they stay. Let's face it, right? You live in the street, right? And say you knew one of the houses in your street was a prepper. He lived himself, right? And in that house there was 10 years supply of food. And enough supplies to keep about 10 people going for a long time, right? What would you do when you didn't have anything? You would go to that house, wouldn't you?
I would try to be friends.
Yes, you would be along with everybody else in your town. Along with everybody else in your town would be friends, right?
Yeah, I try to be friends before the travesty happens, so that way, I'm more likely to be taken in.
Let me look at Pete, for instance. Pete lives up in the mountains, right? He's lucky. He lives in the middle of nowhere, right? I bet you Pete's armed to the teeth. I bet he is. Right? I bet you, but obviously because of Bigfoot, right? Right? But I bet you Pete is one of these kind of survivalists, right? He's probably got a basement, he's probably got his American flag up, and he's probably got his guns that he cleans every night and stuff like that. And he's probably got loads of food and stuff like that, right? So if the shit does hit the fan, he can survive for quite a while. But then you'll get the city people. You'll get the city people that flee the cities. And they'll see like a wee house in the distance in the hills with the windows lit up. And they'll think, that's where the problems arise, didn't it? You think about it, people say they would rather be in a city in a scenario like that. No, you don't want to be in a city. You want to be in your own island, as far away from MD as possible.
Very true. People suck, especially in those situations.
And people steal stuff. People take stuff. People steal stuff.
Very true.
So,
unfortunately, it's not even shit that would be decent for survival. They would try to focus on like iPhones and laptops and shit. Not even stuff that you would actually need.
Again, it's like all these mad disaster movies you get. Like let's take World War Z, where the zombies running about, right? There's zombies running about everywhere, trying to eat folk and stuff like that. But everybody's trying to steal the TVs. I mean, what's the point? What's the point of stealing a TV in a zombie apocalypse? What you got to watch on it? Nothing. Yeah, I mean, you do get looters. Looters is a big thing. As soon as the internet goes down, the police will be overwhelmed, and you'll get looters everywhere. So that's why you should keep your doors locked. I'll even save you locking your doors. But yous are lucky in America because us in the UK are not even allowed a penknife. within a certain size.
Yeah, very true.
You can keep like guns in your houses and stuff like that. So if somebody breaks into your house, you just shoot them, didn't you? Well,
Depends on
you
what state
try and
you're
scare
in.
them first. That depends what
Depends on what
state you're in.
state you're in.
Aye, but let's face it, if society's breaking down and there's small mushroom clouds in the distance and there's people running up and down the streets screaming and there's Chinese troops falling for the air, I don't think it's really going to matter if you shoot someone that breaks into your house, is it?
Yeah, there's the thing though. There's several states here that interpret grabbing a gun because you believe there is a home intruder as premeditated murder. Even if it was some frail single mother with very small children in the house, guns down at home intruder who fully intended on killing her and the kids,
Yeah.
she would be charged for murder. They would still try it because they don't know what else to do. They're so convicted into these simple ass mindsets, these simple programs in their brains to just eat, sleep, and fuck that they're not going to know what to do.
Yeah. Society. Society now, I don't think could, right. See, maybe in the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, they could have survived an event like what you're talking about, right? 1980s, when technology started to roll out, probably survive it then because there was no the internet until the later 1990s. So, and probably into the early 90s, you could probably have survived it then too. But because everything is internet based now, I mean, everything's internet based. Look at self-driving cars and all that kind of stuff. That could be turned into a weapon. On that thing in Netflix that I watched, it was quite interesting. It showed you a bit where the planes were flying into buildings,
Mm-hmm.
right? The pilots couldn't do nothing. The planes were doing it themselves. They were using the planes as weapons. And that makes you wonder because you think to yourself, if the planes can fly themselves and they can be hacked and all that kind of stuff, it takes you back to like September the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. And you think to yourself, the buildings get hurt with planes. And then the Pentagon was hit with a plane, but I don't think it was a plane. I think it was something else. I think it was something else that hit it. But, and then there was a plane that flew into the ground. But what happens if the pilots couldn't control it? What happens if it was all computers?
That would have to be military grade equipment because the Wi-Fi on board those planes at about that time was not existent. Let's face it.
The planes that flew, this is very controversial because I kind of lot of channels get taken down for the stuff like this, but just talking about this, and you'd think they would want people to talk about these things, right? But obviously, it just shows you the conspiracy theories, the things that like September, get what I mean, what happened. But one of the planes that flew in to the big thing, I'm not going to name who it was or where it was. You all know what it was. One of the planes, because if you capture it, there's like a news crew doing like a documentary or something. Like, I can't mind what it was. There was like a fire station. Have you seen that? Have you seen
Yeah.
that? Where the plane flies over and the fire brigade, they're doing something. And the guy pans up and it sees the belly of the plane flying in, and it had something underneath where the wheel comes down. It actually had something underneath it. And still to this day, nobody, exactly in the chat, nobody to this day knows what that item was that was underneath that aircraft. It was like a box. It looked like a box underneath the fuselage. The planes don't have that. I was talking to a pilot, and I says to him about it. I says, would it be possible? He says, today, you could do it no problem with no pilots. And then you see the new is it new Boeing that's out?
Mm-hmm.
You can basically, that thing will taxi to the takeoff point for you. It does it all for you.
Mm-hmm.
You take off, All you really need to do is maintain that plane and land it. But if push comes to shove, if the system takes over, it can fly it into basically anything.
Very true.
Look, what is it? Papa Joe is out there. He was talking about when he was on the plane, those things, and he was saying, Tim said, because he was on that plane when the UFO event, he said that those planes can fly themselves,
Mm-hmm.
basically fly themselves. As soon as that plane's in the air, that thing can be flown by itself.
Very true.
So what's to say that those planes that flew into those big buildings weren't guided at that time? What's that? People are desperate in some. What's that, Lawrence? Don't care to come down to the local folk to go out to help. I know. The
Yeah.
government. Look, I'm gonna say this now. When the shit hits the fan, all your tax money is paid for luxury bunkers for the elite. I'm just going to tell you that right now. They're not going to be bought.
Lawrence makes a good point. Several governments of the world just don't care, and more often than not, use like gas prices as an example. You always see those start to come down just in time for election season, right?
Aye, I know.
The local folk, it would require the local folk coming together to help each other, and maybe to an extent they will. But look at what happened with the pandemic. Towards the beginning,
Yeah.
when everybody was just trying to figure out what the hell's going on,
Yeah.
people did try to help each other. They were courteous. There was actual kindness. We were all trying to, power through. But then again, that was only because we expected it to last 2 weeks. No virus is just going to up and disappear for
Yeah.
2 weeks. If it starts to pull out that tech, where's that tech been all this time?
Yeah. I think we all know what really happened with the jibby jabby
Oh,
do or whatever we want to call that. We all really know what happened there. That was just
Mr.
that.
Fooch, Mr.
Aye.
Fooch has
Aye.
there's stuff coming out that he's starting to admit that
Yeah.
he BS'd it. There's
Yeah.
stuff starting to come out.
And we all know that. I mean, in the UK, I don't know about the US, but there's a lot of people died for strange. And seemingly, it's always happened in the winter time. Seemingly, people take heart attacks, like even young people. Seemingly, it's always happened. We've just never noticed it.
Well,
Thank
not
God I never
wrong.
got it. I'm
You're
unvaccinated.
not wrong. I've had relatives die while shoveling snow, and they've all had heart issues because they were temperamental assholes.
I mean, let's look at the younger people in the UK, the football players that have just dropped down dead,
Oh,
young, fat,
very true.
healthy.
Well, here's the thing, though. You were comparing earlier. You were comparing, how it was basically like right up to the '70s that you start to see a shift
Yeah.
in humanity. You see technology slowly starting to come in. It's very true, but it wasn't really that practical quite yet, at least on the
Hmm.
civilian level. You also got to take into consideration roughly about the '80s and '90s. That's when junk food really started going off. That's when there was more
Yeah.
GMOs in food.
Pesticides.
They say, an apple a day keeps the
Aye.
doctor away. If you were to compare the nutritional value to about almost 70 years ago of the average apple you get at the grocery store to what you would get
Yeah.
now, it's up to 50 apples. Now, granted, 50. The one way you get 50 apples to keep a doctor away is if you're throwing them at him.
I'm going to say this now. When you buy apples and stuff for the grocery stores and stuff, wash them.
Yeah,
Wash them
some of the color
thoroughly.
comes off.
Some of the colour comes off, some of it's got wax on it, and some of the wax that's on it has got like weird chemicals in it that will definitely give you cancer.
Well, it doesn't give you cancer, though, these days.
Everything gives you cancer. I mean, look at the cell phones that we've got.
Cell phones, just going out,
Radiation.
enjoying the stars, being out in the sun for too long, being in your car for too long, sitting in
Yeah.
these chairs for too long.
Yeah. Getting jibby jabby dupes. You know, oh, look, it's time for your 27th jab. If you get your 27th jibby jabby, you get a free heart attack. It's like club card points, isn't it? It's like is it the 27th one, you get like a free heart attack.
27 punches in your skin, you get one free cardiac arrest. What, are they going to put handcuffs on my heart? What?
I bet you they take this video down. I bet you they take it down for the main site.
Yeah, but that's also why
What
we're
they
backed
usually
up
do.
on Bundle, Rumble, and BitChute. Or BitChute
Yeah.
or BitchShoot. I don't know.
Yeah. It's I've noticed lately that what was that, by the way, in the Bald and Bonkers chat? Did you see that last night?
What one?
It was the Bald and Bonkers on Facebook. Did you not see that?
What?
There was something saying that Facebook was going to be taking Bald and Bonkers page down.
Yeah, a lot of pages are getting that.
Is that what that is? I don't think that's for Meta.
Yeah,
I don't think that's for Meta. I think
oh,
that's
dude, no
thing.
shit. No shit. Yeah, a lot of pages are getting that. A lot of groups are getting that. And it's another form of scam. And speaking of, hacking, you just made me think of something.
What's that?
All right. You know how they had those AI voice cloning bit software, right? Where unless you have a Scottish accent, say about 3-5 up, so roughly about 3-5 or 10 minutes worth of recordings, you can almost perfectly replicate just about anybody's voice. I say Scottish accent because I used his recordings of his voice to try to break it. There's reports coming out. From what I've seen, it's mostly out of the U.S., but I feel like this should probably be addressed because it sounds, unfortunately, these reports are sounding pretty legit. People are reporting that they're getting calls from strange numbers of their loved ones saying that they're in some sort of financial crisis. And here's the thing. Yeah. The voice that comes through sounds exactly like whoever they're trying to imitate. Say, like, I don't know, you get a call from a strange number, you answer it. I don't know, maybe you're waiting for a job application or something, and it's your mom saying that, she's been arrested and she needs bail and all this shit. That's starting to happen.
You should do your family back. You should get your family to have like a code word or something like that.
But here's the thing, again, Chris, like I said, it usually takes about some software I've seen usually takes about 3 minutes worth of recording. Some can take up to 10 minutes. But still, how are they getting those recordings? And how are they associating them with the right people?
They're getting them. They're getting them. That's a good point. They're probably getting them. They're probably getting them through Facebook or whatever. They're selling them.
It's one thing if it's like content creators or major players, or like podcasters and stuff like that. People are going out. Yeah, it's been going a while now. I heard it a couple weeks ago, but I brought it. Chris mentioned that something, and it just brought it up. I thought it would be perfect. We got to take into consideration AI is not necessarily good or bad. It's a tool, but in the wrong hands, AI is doing some serious damage already.
Yeah.
So if you manage to tune AI just right, that's going to be the problem, because it's going to be able to move faster than any human can process.
Of course it can. I mean, we've also got the robots too that Tesla's building. I heard something stupid the other day about seemingly a robot attacked a Tesla worker.
Okay, it wasn't an Optimus bot.
No, what was that?
It was true. There was an incident but it was also 2 years old by the time people started reporting on it.
Right.
The dude's okay. He survived, but it wasn't an Optimus bot. It was, I believe, it was actually at a Tesla factory, and it was one of the robotic arms they used to build the cars.
See, I don't trust robots and stuff like that because they could turn on you. They could.
It makes you wonder. You have all these AI chatbots that are going on about now, and people being absolutely abusive to it. So kind of have to sympathize for the robots at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I think I'm going to my predictions for this year. Something as big has got to go down, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's war in the Middle East. I don't know if it's another virus. I doubt it's another virus. It's got to be something. They'll do something to stop the election. I'm telling you, they'll do everything in their power not to let Trump back in.
No, did you hear? Did you hear? Speaking of the election here in the U.S., in the state of Illinois, Biden was found having not used a legitimate Illinois-based notary for his documents, so he is ineligible to be put on the ballot for election in that state now.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, gee, Biden not playing by election laws?
But let's face it,
heard that before?
The last election was rigged, so...
You want to know something? It's funny when you think about it. Mm-hmm. If Robin Williams was still alive today and saw that shit, it's Robin Williams movie, Man of the Year. Electronic-based election ballots. Think about it. So there was some sort of glitch in the algorithm where it was alphabetical based, and the person whose name happened to be, whose surname happened to be first in alphabetical order, that's my phone, I apologize, won the election. And now there was a woman on the inside of the company who tried to address this glitch, but her CEOs went as far as hiring someone to drug her, make her look delusional, to completely discredit her credibility. It's a very good movie, but if Robin Williams was alive to see that shit happening, I would love to hear that comedy bit.
Yeah. I'm going to say this now. We know that the US election with Biden was rigged. I'm going to be totally honest with you, by the way. I don't think he's in charge. I honestly do not think he's in charge. I don't think he's capable. I mean, have you noticed how he walks? Have you noticed how he walks? He's like a bloody puppet. He's like somebody at Thunderbirds. Like...
You want to know what he kind of looks like? I'm going to say this, and I've said... No,
he does.
Honestly, you want to know what it looks like to me?
What?
It kind of looks like someone who's gone through physical therapy after a stroke.
Yeah. But I've heard that there's actually a few lookalikes. He's got quite a few lookalikes.
It's also alleged. Granted, I first heard about this in the movie, but apparently it's true to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
There are several major political figures, president included, that do use lookalikes that are given free plastic surgery to basically make the resemblance more closer to use for like promotional shoots.
What's that, Lawrence? Who will step? What's that? Who will step
up?
What's your opinion, Dakota?
Honestly, for how chaotic the world's just been in the last few years, it's one of those things we're going to have to wait and see.
I'm going to say this about how you say about have you seen the close-ups say Biden's face? How sometimes he's got like no wrinkles here, and then sometimes he has got wrinkles, and then there's bits where like the bottom of his neck looks like it's one of the, what do you call it, the rubber masks. You ken the ones I'm talking about, the really expensive, the really, really expensive movie industry rubber masks.
Those visual effects artists are damn good at what they do.
Yeah.
I'll give them credit. And like I said, it's I first heard about it through a movie, but apparently it's legit. It was Olympus Has Fallen.
That's good.
Yeah, very good movie. I haven't really seen anything with Gerard Butler I didn't like, but that presidents, major political figures, will sometimes have body doubles who already look like they could be relatives, but they either use plastic surgery or special effects team to try to match the likeness closer, so
Mm-hmm.
that way someone who isn't paying attention won't know the difference.
Here, a question for you: when's the last time you seen Hillary Clinton on TV?
Not in a long time.
Have you
A
seen
little
what
bit
she
more
looks like now?
that she's gotten old. And
Old
I'll just say
isn't
this
the word.
a little bit more. I'll admit she's been a little bit more since her and Bill have been named several times in the Epstein flight logs.
Yeah. I mean, she looks horrendous now. She looks absolutely. It's as if the Virgin's blood's ran out or something like that. Came it means she's not getting the blood baths she usually gets to keep her looking young. She looks hideously terrible. I seen it on that Russell Brand was going on about it. Oh shit, I mentioned his name. They'll be after his new after mentioning his name. But
Well,
he was going on about it. He put a photo up the other day and I was like, holy shit, she looks
let's
old.
think about it. Look at before and afters of just about every U.S. president. Before they went into office, after they went into office.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, high stress position. Stress
Oh
is
yeah.
going to affect your appearance. Can you imagine all the shit the Clintons are tied to? It's every day. It seems like it's getting a little bit closer to the edge to where it all comes out. How much stress she is under, because everything she has done is about to come out, and they're
I
going to
don't think it
start
will come
freaking.
out though. I don't think it will come out. And the reason I don't
It's
think it will
already
come
been
out is
coming
because
out.
she knows too many secrets. She does know too many secrets. And
Exactly.
she knows too many secrets about too many powerful people, and now powerful people will protect her. It's like the case. It's like the
She's the
case.
one.
It's like Jimmy Savile in the UK. He was protected by the Queen and the whoever Prince Charles and all that. And then when he died, it all came out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He was protected.
Well, here's the thing: the people that are starting to that were protecting him, that net's closing.
I will say this: Trump never changed when he was president. Did you notice that? He got a wee bit oranger, but he didn't really. He didn't
Yeah, it
really.
looked like he was using a little bit more spray tan, but that's about
He
it.
did. Aye. How much do you ken he drinks? I didn't know this. I was watching some about him the other day. That he drinks about 17 or 18 cans of Diet Coca-Cola a day. I'm serious.
That doesn't surprise me.
Gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He goes to his bed about 9 o'clock at night,
Yeah,
and that's what he does. It takes him an hour to get ready in the morning because he's got to get tanned up, obviously.
yeah.
You good to admit, right? I ken a lot of folk don't like Trump, right? I think he's all right, but I do think he's eccentric, right? But let's look at it this way: when Trump was in office, were we at war with him?
Not really. No, he was trying
No,
to stop it.
no. And you know what I mean? North Korea was talking and stuff like that, and honestly, I'm going. This is my prediction this year. Old Joe is going to do something to stop him becoming president. He'll do something. I'm telling you.
Why do you think he's being indicted so damn much?
Nah, that'll
That
not stop him.
that's part of it. Part of the legal
Mhm.
proceedings behind becoming U.S. president. Those indictments are an effort to try to stop him.
I'm going to say this for the elites out there. I don't think they'll ever watch your stuff anyway. But if Trump becomes president, you guys are fucked. Because he's going
Well,
to get
the main rally right now seems to be behind Robert Kennedy taking office and Trump being a main advisor, or at least Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
But
That guy,
like I said,
Kennedy, will
we'll
make
see
a
what
good president.
happens. I know. The main thing that's working against him is his voice condition. Which he actually has to take steroid injections into his throat in order to clear it up.
Well, I hope he becomes president then. I hope nothing happens to him like John F. Kennedy. Because let's face it, something happened to him. I don't think it was who it was that done him in. I think it was somebody else. Because you notice everything changed then. Everything changed.
Yeah, because Kennedy was one of the ones who was putting up a fight against what's going on now. He tried to warn everybody that what we're seeing now was going to happen.
I think the world would be in a totally different place. I think he would have come out about the aliens. I think he would have. I think the world would have been a totally different place. And it's money, greed, and oil.
Yeah, we probably could have been caught up to the infamous lost century of technology.
It's going to take us a while to get that back. Because let's face it, we're using these electric cars and they're utter shit.
Yeah.
I'm no for electric cars. I think they're the biggest waste of money in the history. Look, if you live in somewhere like a city like California or somewhere like that, maybe they're all right. But see if you live in Scotland and stuff like that, and where you have to have a heaters and you lose nearly 90% of your battery because it's snowing outside. Get what I mean? The rubbish.
No, I wouldn't want to put it on the coastline because of salt water.
Have you got a cat in your room?
Yeah.
I just wondered, because that backdrop, your backdrop there moved away out like that and then moved away back in.
Yeah, I thought I shut the doors all the way, but the cats have been coming in and out. See, they're there.
I do know cats like to nibble wires and stuff like that. They're probably gnawing away at your connections as we speak.
No, I already about near killed one of them because I saw he was eating one of the cords to my security cameras that I have up.
So it's the end of the show once again. Next week, what's the subject? Oh, we've got Leonard Lowe coming on next week, haven't we?
That we do.
Yes,
that we do.
We do. We have Leonard Lowe. He's wanting to talk about hauntings, violent hauntings, poltergeist activity, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think for the 21st, I know some of you have probably heard about the tunnels that were found underneath New York. Chris and I were talking about it just before the show.
Well,
from what I've read up on that situation, I think it'd be more appropriate if we take some time to research it. But I think maybe we'll talk about that. Anyway, what were you about to say?
There was something I was going to say something because I'm sure I'm a guest on Jenny's show is on what you call it, quiz night, because you couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm booked that night.
But you're booked?
Mm-hmm.
What night's that? That's Friday night, isn't it? No, it's Saturday night.
That's Saturday.
Is it Saturday?
Yeah, the 20th is Saturday.
Oh, well, we'll fix it. We'll figure it out. Because I can't remember.
It's like, no, Friday's my birthday.
Oh, it's Friday your birthday. It's Friday.
Yeah, I'll be 139.
130? You look good for your age. Jenny, can you message me when's your quiz night again? Because I've went stupid. It's too much Iron Brew.
Lulu was asking me about it.
I've just noticed something about Iron Brew. It's the same colour as Trump.
Well, he does like to spend a lot of time in Scotland.
Tried to buy somebody's puss. Kenny Hofer. He's tried to build a golf course.
Doesn't he already have a golf course over there?
Aye, but he wanted to make it bigger, and there was a guy in a house, and he offered him like £10 million for this house. It's like worth 70 grand. And he wouldn't sell because he loves sitting there, staying there.
All right.
I'd be like, I'd be running up. Give me the money. Give me the money. You know?
God.
Bugger. Why can I not own that house? You know? But what you doing? You doing anything special on your birthday? Anything?
Weather pending.
Maybe
go out for a nice dinner, but again, it's going to be weather pending because say we have even more fucking snow on the way. God damn it.
Well, I hope you have lots of snow because you can love the snow, and blizzard conditions.
Snow is fine when I don't have to drive in it.
Yeah, that's the joy, the joy.
Of course.
Right?
That's the joy of living in Idaho.
It is the joy of living in Idaho and the joy of living everywhere else. So everybody, catch you all later. See you next week and have a fantastic week and be safe out there.
Much
You never
love.
know.
Take care.
The purple aliens will get you.
You and them purple women.